Welcome back, and on this video today guys we are going to hopefully finish assembling this engine. We've got the turbo to put back on, we have got crankshaft to put in, we have got balance shaft to put on, sump to put back on, and valve springs, camshafts, camshaft cradle, cam belt water pump, timing chain, all of the above. So we're going to get stuck in. Okay, so where we're going to start on this is we're not going to start on the bottom end. We are going to rotate the engine, hopefully. And we're going to get stuck in with the turbo first. So we'll get the turbo fitted to the back of the engine, get all the gaskets done and stuff like that. So, like I said, we're going to get started on the turbo first. So we've got a turbo manifold gasket to go on. We've got to sort out some of these. There are some oil lines that need to go on. I just need to try and figure out which one was which, and there's one I believe that I can't put on, which I'm sure is the oil return feed to the turbo, because it's different on a front wheel drive to a four wheel drive. Okay, so we've got some oil lines that need to be fitted to this setup. That one needs to go there. So that is the most important one, because I know one of these you can't get to. If I don't put that pipe on, I won't be able to get to it. Got another 2 cross washers for this. So I'm going to put this back on, just so we don't have anything fall in the turbo until we actually put the induction kit on. So that's just a precaution. We got one more nut to do here, but I'm waiting for that to be delivered. I'm also going to hang the turbo downpipe gasket now, just because it's just going to look a whole lot neater. So if anyone's wondering why I use these bolts, they've got an imprint of lines. These will never come loose from the downpipe. However, you can take them on and off without them breaking if needed. Whereas the studs, you normally on some of these turbos end up with studs snapping when you try and remove the downpipe. So I do this just to avoid any issues. What I am going to do now is I'm going to prime the turbo with oil so that I don't have to do this before turning it over. Oh, I made a bit of mess. Right, so let me get this bolted up, and I'll give this a little clean. That is just so that there is oil in the turbo for the first start. So ideally we don't want anything dry. Made a mess on a brand new engine already. That's no good. And like I said, I'm not going to fit the oil return because it's different from front wheel drive to four wheel drive. So we've also obviously still got to do cam belt and coolant pump stuff. This pipe will go around to here, which is just temporary. This pipe goes into the bottom of the coolant bottle. So what I'm going to do now, flip the engine again. We'll put it back on the bottom end and we are going to get ready to put the crank in place. Here's where I start applying some of the engine building assembly lube. This is obviously just to make sure that nothing gets put in dry. We need to make sure that we've got plenty of lubrication. Going in dry is a no-no. So once the crankshaft is lowered in place, obviously we can put a little bit more assembly lube on, but what we're going to do here is we're going to put the caps on for the rods. Right now you're watching 2 and 3 caps being put on, but I already have done 1 and 4. Obviously as you rotate the crank, 2 and 3 will be up at the same time and 1 and 4 will be up at the same time. Do them up finger tight, apply some more lube on the crankshaft, getting ready to finally put the main caps in place. Some of you guys may notice here I've done 1, 2, 4 and 5 main caps, but there's a reason for that. I will tell you about it later. Once the main caps are on, we need to use grease on the fasteners. So if you're doing the head, obviously you grease your washers either side. If you're doing the bottom end, you need to be sure that you grease your nuts, guys. So that is a must. Make sure you grease your nuts. Unfortunately, the news that I'm about to receive is actually going to dramatically change my mood for the next couple of weeks. Oh. Right guys, so I've just had a phone call and I've made a very big mistake. I shouldn't be laughing. Basically, I've been told I'm going to have to strip this engine back down to the block. The mistake I made is stupid. And I even realized at the time that I had not done. Let me show you guys what I've done. So when I dropped off the 360 thrust washers and the cap to be modded, I never gave my original thrust washer, which is a massive mistake. I gave the original thrust washer that comes with the kit as opposed to my own. It's a different thickness to this, which means the cap's been machined down obviously to match that thrust washer, and this one's a lot thicker. So the phone call I had was basically, right, I think there's a big issue here. Obviously my stuff is here, the machinist has other stuff there, and he checked on another block and he was like, we got a big issue. So right now the thrust washer doesn't sit how it should. It sits with plenty of space around it. So yeah, it might not be savable. I can't believe it. But yeah, so basically we're not, it's not quits. We won't give up here. I've been told I have to strip the block, bring the complete block. I guess maybe we'd be welding what's been machined back into the cap, weld it back into the cap, and maybe run a bore through where the crank would sit. Oh. So you guys can't really see properly. I've got thrust washers in here now. You can just about see those 2 little silver dots there. They are the thrust washers. That is a standard thrust washer, like that. And they sit either side of that cap in the block. Sorry, not on the actual cap. And that stops crank walk. That stops the crank from moving side to side. Now, obviously, I've made a big mistake. Too much has been machined. We could be in big trouble. So if we can't find a solution to this, then yeah, I need a new block. So that's not what I wanted to hear. I am very, very frustrated that I can even make this sort of mistake. But it is what it is. I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to measure a load of bits now, and hopefully we can come up with a solution. We have one thing in mind. Fingers crossed. Okay, fingers crossed. Basically, the block dead. If we can't sort this issue out, the block is completely dead. Or there's another way around it. We can weld the main cap that's been machined down, and then that would get machined both sides of the cap, and then that would have to be machined through the center where the crank would sit. So there's a massive boring machine that will go the whole way through. But basically that would mean we strip down this whole engine that I've managed to build so far, and it's just a massive, massive hiccup. So I have been very stressed over the last couple of weeks trying to figure out who, what, where. I've reached out to customers that I thought worked for laser cutting companies. Unfortunately, I was wrong. He was a builder, but he did mention something about laser cutting. So one of the guys where I'm from has put me onto a company called Swaymar Engineering. I've given them a call. They said, unfortunately, they can't help me with that sort of thing, but they do know a laser cutting company. So they have just given me some details for laser cutting company. I'm going to give them a call now and just have a conversation with them. And I'm really, really hoping that we can get to the bottom of this and we can get it sorted, because then I can continue with the engine build. So fingers crossed, guys. I'm going to give them a call now and we'll see how that goes. So we have got the number for them now. I'm going to give them a call. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed.
Hello, Calvert Welding.
Hello there. Is Vic available, please?
Yeah, speaking.
Vic, lovely. I'm so glad I've got you on the phone. I've been recommended to you via Swaymar Engineering.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
David, yeah. So I've got a little bit of an issue here. He told me that you guys do laser cutting and hopefully you guys can actually help me. So I've got an engine here that we were doing a thrust washer mod on. So there's a little thrust washer that you machine out. Possibility that you can cut a shim for us to space that out ever so slightly.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, guys, so the camera is playing up. It unfortunately just stopped recording mid video, which is irritating, but I've just managed to speak to Vic from Kelvic Welding. He does laser cutting. So what we are going to do is I now have to go and collect the thrust washers and the cap. So this is the 360 thrust washer mod that I was telling you about. Obviously this is the part that gets CNC'd in, and then thrust washers sit in there like so. The reason I've got the arm is to stop this thrust washer spinning, I'd guess. And yeah, just needs to basically be two of the same things either side. And obviously what this is for, it's to stop crank walk. So it's to stop the movement on the crank side to side. You do need some movement. It can't be bang on tight 100% because like expansion and stuff like that when the engines warm up. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give Vic another call and just tell him, look, I've got the bits now. I'm going to come and drop them off to you. Obviously, I need to get his address and stuff. So we'll go and drop these off, and hopefully Vic is going to save our bacon. Still a very, yeah, it's a mistake that I'll never make again. Let's say that for sure. So what I actually done was I gave these, which are, like I said, these match these to the machinist instead of these plus mine. Then he would have got the correct depth. But I throw my hands up to that. That's on me. Woo. Let's give Vic a call. Oh, also, so the reason why we would have to replace the block if this doesn't happen is this is mated to the block. I can't just go and get this from another engine and put it in and expect it to work, because every engine is different. Like the caps. How can I explain it? The caps and the block are machined with everything in place. If I was to take this off and put this on another engine, this bearing might be tighter or much looser because I've changed the cap, which would result in more of a gap or less of a gap between the crank bearing and the cap and blah, blah, blah. But you get the drift anyway. It's time to give Vic a call. So let's get Vic on the phone now. Billinghurst, that's where we got to travel to. Damn. 27 miles away from us right now. Hour and 6 minutes, so it's not bad. It's only 10 to 3 at the moment, so we'll get there in time before they close. And yeah, hopefully we will get back next week. So let's give him a call.
Hello, Calvert Welding.
Hello there, is that Vic again?
It is again.
Lovely, right. My name's Ashley. I spoke to you the other day about some thrust washer shims being made.
Oh yeah, for your
Lovely.
boat engine, yeah.
Yep. So basically, I've got them with me now. Am I able to shoot them over to you now? It'd take me about an hour-ish to get to you.
Yeah, I'm going to be here till 6.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah, no
Lovely.
problem.
All right. Well, I've got your address. I'll pop down and I'll see you shortly, okay?
Yeah, okay, don't see you in a
Thank you.
while.
Cheers. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Apparently, it's a boat engine. 700 brake horsepower capable boat engine. Little does he know. But yeah, right. So that's wicked. We've got confirmation. We are going to get down there now. Go and drop this off. Hopefully, it will be a fairly quick turnaround. I would like to say a week or so. If it takes longer, it takes longer. Whatever it costs, it costs. So guys, you guys at home watching this, I had a conversation this morning where I was speaking to one of my mates and I told him the situation and he's like, oh, how much is it going to cost you? I told him and he was like, wow, that's cheap. So I wouldn't care if it cost me an arm and a leg. It's the convenience, the time and the money it will save me. So if this don't work or if we didn't have this option, I would have to replace my block right now, which the block, I think, a lot of the work on the engine in general, like machine work and stuff like that, set me back £1,200. So it would be back to stage one, back to step one. And yeah, so any of you guys at home, when you pay for a service, whether it's mechanical or whatever else, don't look at the cost of what you're paying. Look at the service you're getting for that money. And that should, I'm hoping, change your mindset on, you know, the money that you spend and what it goes into. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here and we're going to go and drop these bits off. I think this may be the end of the video, guys. So I just want to say again, a big thank you to all you guys watching and supporting and showing love. Anyone that has actually used the company for any work, feel free to look us up on Google. You can come down. We can talk about whatever work needs to be done. If you have had work done by me, please leave a review. It makes all the difference. So with that being said, beast mode to the world.